Welcome, my friends, to a brand new video and brand new blog. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and watching it. Thank you so much for your interest on my videos. Let's begin with today's topic. Today's topics, we're going to talk about Guatemala, a Central American nation which is bordered by Mexico, Belize, Honduras. Let's begin. In September 2006, a year after he was appointed head of the prison system, Alejandro Giammattei did something that would call attention to his career. At the end of the month, a contingent of 3,000 elements of the penitentiary guard, police, and the army broke into Pavon, a penal detention. This happened during dawn. Pavon is a lawless prison on the outskirts of Guatemala City to restore order and take control of the place. 7 inmates lost their lives during the operation, although a successful operation. Although those lives were lost, it was still named a successful operation. Criminal operations were commanded from the prison. Victims of kidnappings were hidden in the same prison. Bills were forged, and lots were even sold on the prison grounds. This action or recognition allowed Giammattei to run for the first time for the presidency in 2007 without being able to get enough support, but still winning 17% of the vote. And since then, he became a timeless candidate until he finally won in 2019. Okay, let's go. Let's move. Let's talk what happened before 2019. In 2011, following an investigation by the CIG, which is an anti-impunity body backed by the UN, Giammattei and other authorities were accused of the 7 inmates extrajudicial execution. The bodies of the inmates showed signs of torture, gunshot, gunshot wounds from a short distance. Giammattei took refuge in Honduras embassy, still in Guatemala, and asked for asylum, but then decided to surrender to justice and declare himself a political prisoner. In 2011 elections, Giammattei ran for CASA, a center-right political party close to the military Roberto Lopez, accused of buying magistrates. Before the Pavon Prison event, which would mark his last public office, he unsuccessfully runs for mayor of Guatemala City on 2 occasions, 1999 and 2003. Since then, he dedicated himself to private business and seeking the presidential chair. During those years, he managed to articulate party structures at the national level and financiers network. Some imprisoned for corruption. One of the founders of that campaign was a businessman, Ingmar Aitan, currently in jail, accused of appropriating a millionaire tax credit refund by paying bribes. Investigations by local media link Giammattei with Luis Enrique Ortega, son of retired General Francisco Ortega, accused of being a member of the Cofradia, a parallel power group that since the 1980s has been accused of moving the Central American nations' strings. Um, Today, this week, November 23rd, 2020, a Guatemalan Congress decided to suspend a controversial budget for next year, 2021. The approval for which sparked protests over the weekend, in which protesters set fire to the parliament's headquarters and called for the resignation of conservative President Alejandro Giammattei. Rodriguez explained that now that legislative procedures have been suspended, and Rodriguez is the vice president, that the decree that endorses the budget will no longer be sent to the president, who was to approve it or to veto it, but we all know he was going to approve it. The deputies have until November 30th to approve a new budget. According to Guatemalan law, otherwise, the one that governed this year will remain in force for about 10,390 million dollars. So they're saying that if the second budget is not approved, the one that people don't want will govern, and that one is for $10,390 million. Let's continue. Dissatisfied sectors and organizations have also demanded Gianmatti's resignation, calling for demonstrations against the government for not allocating sufficient resources to combat poverty and inequality in the budget. Apparently, this government is more concerned with repaying the companies that helped him become president. On Saturday, this past Saturday, thousands of Guatemalans demonstrated peacefully to demand Jim Mattis' resignation. Still, others went to the parliament building and set on fire several offices after breaking windows to enter. Parliamentary president also called the events against the Congress headquarters terrorist acts. In Guatemala, corruption is denounced, as well as delays in the appointment of judges. In 2015, the resignation of President Otto Perez due to a case of costume fraud was already experienced. These days, social outrage also responds to the lack of transparency in how the resources destined for the coronavirus pandemic have been handled. Rejection of the creation of a super ministry led by a young man close to the president. Congress had approved loans for $3,800 million to attend the pandemic. According to official data, the supervisory NGOs, only 15% of those resources reach the population. Representative Evelyn Montoya calls the new proposal a pre-mobilized motion. She spoke about 126 pages that talk about health, education, development, and hunger. Of 99,700 millions quetzales to be approved, only 3.4 are destined to fight hunger. In Guatemala, malnourishment should be declared a national emergency. The Guatemalan population is not aware of these numbers since they are not made public knowledge. And let me tell you, 99,700 millions converted to dollars, to US dollars, comes up to be 76,659 and $33. Let's move on. The proposal being rushed for approval by the end of November, it said that there is a lot of information hidden. Citizens don't know what is being approved. In this proposal, there are two loans. One loan for $594 million with the IMF, the second for 20,000 millions to the bid. I have I have videos on what the IMF and what the bid means. Please go watch those videos. And one is named the new president of BID, and the other one is called America Grows. In all those videos, I talk about what it means and what power and what significance this type of loans will have for Latin America in the future years to come. These two loans are proposals. These two loans and proposals should be analyzed in more details, said Evelyn Montoya. What is asked is for all 160 MPs to sit down and present the amendments that are considered essential to improve the budget. Millions of people live in villages, communities without clean water or even a proper home where the water comes in when it rains. Millions of dollars that are supposedly millions of dollars that were supposedly for the pandemic have disappeared. People have been abandoned. In some communities, they don't even have water. They have to go to a river to get the water. And to bring water to those homes, it's an easy task. It would not take that long. I'm just about to finish here. The nation should prioritize using this money to avoid the loss of children's life due to hunger. Guatemala, within this month alone, has lived two hurricanes. Two hurricanes. Um, the $76,669, I mean $1 million, would be used to help communities affected. It is obvious the current government is not thinking about the well-being of the majority. This is the reason they want the current president to resign his position. My friends, what's going on in Guatemala is sort of sad because all this money that is being borrowed, at the end, who's going to pay it is the population, not the president. And this money, although it's a loan from banks, should go to the people because the taxpayers are the ones who pay the debt at the end. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video. This information is very important. And as I always say, help someone in your community. After all, you might be the only one who does. I will see you in the next video in a couple of